Hey guys, Neely here. I am coming in for a video about Whole30 and THM and if the two can coexist. I know that I've heard from a lot of THMers, of which I still consider myself, that they are interested in the Whole30 but not sure how it works with THM. So I just wanted to kind of talk about it, talk about the two programs and the differences and the similarities and how they might be able to work together. So the short answer is yes, I do believe that they can coexist very easily, and they're two very different things for two very different purposes, like two tools in a toolbox. And just because you have one tool doesn't mean you might not need another tool another time. So, anyways, just a very quick overview of the two programs. If you guys don't know what THM is or don't know what Whole30 is, you can very easily do a Google search and find out a lot more information than I'm able to tell you right now. But just a very, very quick overview. THM is short for Trim Healthy Mama, and it is a program that is very popular. And the basis of it is separating your carbs and your fats in separate meals. So you would either have a low fat, higher carb meal or a higher fat, lower carb meal, and you would make sure that you have at least 3 hours in between those two types of meals so that your body can efficiently burn that fuel type that you gave it and then move on to your stored body fat. And the hypothesis is that if you eat carbs and fat together, that your body will have to focus really hard on breaking down one and then breaking down the other, and then usually it doesn't get to the stored body fat, and so you don't lose weight. That is a very brief overview of THM. There's so much more to it than that, but you can find out more about it on your own if you don't know about it. And then the Whole30 is basically an elimination diet. It's a 30-day diet, so it's not the same as THM in that it's not meant to be a forever thing. It's you use it for a purpose for 30 days, and some people do longer, depending on their health issues that they're coming with. But it's an elimination diet where you cut out the most commonly inflammatory foods to people, like grains, legumes, and dairy, and a few other little things in there. And you even cut out things that mimic unhealthy food, like, healthy brownies or healthy pizza, things like that. You're not allowed to recreate unhealthy foods just to break the habits. It's really good for breaking habits and kind of getting your body to a clean slate place. So it is not meant to be a forever thing. So first of all, you can do a Whole30 if you're doing THM and do it for your 30 days and use it for the purpose of finding out what works for your body. Like if you don't know if you have a sensitivity to dairy, or if, rice is causing you digestive problems, or, if legumes are giving you trouble, you do the Whole30 and you slowly reintroduce these things and you find out what is giving you trouble and what your body is fine with. And then from there, you build your own diet so you can, decide what foods are good for you and which ones you want to leave out so that you feel your best. So with THM, you can be going along with THM and eating all, THM approved foods, but you may still not be feeling very well, or you may not lose weight. And just real quickly, I'll tell you my experience as far as weight loss with THM. I have not lost much weight with THM on its own. I have been doing it for the last couple of years, and that includes throughout a pregnancy. So I wasn't focusing on weight loss the whole time, but there was only one season where I actually lost a significant amount of pounds doing THM, and that was after I had been on a ketogenic diet for about 6 months, and that's very, very low carb. I had been on a ketogenic diet for 6 months. It totally messed up my hormones. My appetite was out of control. It was very, very bad for me. And I knew I needed to add more carbs in because when I added in carbs, immediately I felt so much better. But it was really hard to manage the amount of carbs I ate because it was just like, yeah, my body was really messed up. So I would eat carbs, but I'd always eat them with fat because it was like I was adding carbs to the ketogenic diet food that I had already been eating. And when I was just, it was messing me up, and I gained a whole bunch of weight. So not a whole bunch. I gained like maybe 7 pounds, something like that. Basically everything I had lost on the ketogenic diet plus maybe a couple pounds. So then that's when I first found out about THM and their approach of separating carbs and fat in different meals. And I started implementing that, and it made a huge difference. Immediately I started dropping weight, and I dropped that 7 pounds that I had gained back down. And that is the season in which I have lost weight on THM as THM is written. Besides that, I can be on THM and I can eat S and E meals all day long and separate my fuels, cut out crossovers, but I don't lose weight, or I haven't up to this point. So after I had been on THM for a couple of years and hadn't seen a lot of weight loss, I knew that I needed to do some tweaks and try something else, not necessarily something completely different, but just continuing to tweak, because I do really believe in the THM principles, and I think it's a great diet to do. I just think it needs to be tweaked for each person and kind of customized for each individual person, depending on what kinds of foods they tolerate and like just what they do better on. Some people do better on mostly E meals and a few S meals, and some people do better on mostly S meals and a few E meals. And so it really has to be customized. So I was on the search to customize it for myself, as well as I started diving deeper into my own health issues and finding out that I had adrenal fatigue, and being on THM did not clear that up. So it's not like you can just go on THM and if you have underlying issues that THM is just going to take care of all of them. I'm sure it does take care of some. I mean, eating healthy food is going to help you a tremendous amount, but it may not get you all the way to where you need to be. And for me, I was eating great food and super healthy stuff, but I still had the underlying adrenal issues and some deficiencies like zinc deficiency and low ferritin. And because of all that stuff, I was, doing everything right on THM and, doing the THM challenges. I was, very dedicated, but it wasn't until I got those underlying issues taken care of that my weight started dropping. And when my weight started dropping, it was over the summer, my family was in town. I was eating off plan a lot and I lost like 10 pounds because of the underlying issues that I got taken care of. So, it's so funny that I had been on THM for so long, and then when I actually did start losing weight, I wasn't even eating THM exclusively. So after the summer is when I decided to do a Whole30, and I really wanted to find out again, because I've done this before, but my body is always changing, and I just wanted to find out again, kind of get my body back to a clean slate, find out what foods really work well for me and what foods really don't. And so the Whole30 is just a great way to just cut everything out, find out what's doing well for you and what isn't, and then making your decisions of what you eat based on that information, because now you have the knowledge. Before, you're kind of just eating whatever, depending on if it's on plan or not. But when you do the Whole30, you actually find out about your own body, and you find out, what within the THM plan might work for you and what might not. So very basically, you can do a THM style Whole30 where you separate your carbs and your fat in different meals. On Whole30, they have a meal template where you have your protein, your vegetables, your fat serving, and that's like 1 to 2 tablespoons of fat, and then they have a smaller starch or fruit serving. So if you wanted to use that template and build an S meal, you could do, your fatty cut of meat, your vegetables with ghee or coconut oil, something like that, and then your and that would be your fat serving, and then you could do berries on the side as the starch or fruit serving. So that would be a super easy way to make an S meal. And then to make an E meal, you could do like a leaner cut of meat, chicken breast or something, with vegetables and a sweet potato with, your 1 teaspoon of fat, which is allotted in an E meal. And so the only adjustment you'd be making is the fat serving on Whole30 is 1 to 2 tablespoons, but you'd just be reducing that down to a teaspoon to keep in line with the E guidelines. And they say in the Whole30 that the template is not like set in stone. It's just a template. It's just to give you an idea. So you're not expected to always make your meals look exactly like that. So adjusting it to work with an email is totally doable, and you'd still totally be Whole30 compliant. So when I first decided to do a Whole30, I had in my mind that I was going to try to keep S and E meals and separate my fuels and make it a THM Whole30. But my husband threw a curveball and said he wanted to do it with me. And so I decided to go ahead and just cook Whole30 approved meals for the whole family. And I'm happy I did that. And but at the same time, I knew that it was going to be hard enough cutting out all the things I had to cut out. And then on top of that, making a meal for the family that's Whole30 compliant, but then having to adjust it for myself. I just knew that was going to be too much deprivation for me and too much work. Like it's a lot of work to make the Whole30 meals. And so to put all the work in to making this nice Whole30 meal for my family and making it in a way that they will actually enjoy it, like, roasting potatoes in bacon fat and, doing stuff like that. I knew that if I did all that work to make those nice meals for the family and then I wasn't able to eat it, it wouldn't have worked. So basically, I went on the Whole30 and just did the Whole30 as written. I did not worry about S's and E's. I pretty much ate exclusively crossovers for the entire 30 days. So the only 2 things in Whole30 that are Whole30 approved that are not necessarily THM approved are they allow fruit juice. Whole30 allows fruit juice in recipes. Like if you're making a barbecue sauce, you can add apple juice. You're not allowed to just drink apple juice, but you can add a little bit to a recipe. So you're getting a very tiny little bit. On THM, that is not approved, but that would be easy to just not do. And then the other thing is on Whole30, potatoes are approved, like white potatoes. But on THM, they actually say that white potatoes are fine when you're in maintenance and in like a crossover setting. So they're not even 100% disapproved by THM. They're just approved in a certain context. So that's the only 2 things that I could think of, really, that as far as food types that you would have to adjust if you wanted to do a THM Whole30. Besides that, you can just follow the Whole30 guidelines and all their recommended foods. So like I said, I ate almost exclusively crossovers for 30 days. And if you're on THM, if you're in the THM world, you might look at that and think, oh no, she gained 10 pounds from eating crossovers, because when you eat carbs and fat together, you gain weight, or at least you don't lose weight. But I had been at a weight standstill for like 2 months, and I did the Whole30 and I lost 6 pounds. So I ate roasted potatoes with bacon fat. I ate date and nut bars, like Lara bars. Not a lot of them, every once in a while when we were out, like is recommended on the Whole30. And I ate like creamy curries with potatoes. I ate my sweet potato salad that's made with homemade avocado oil mayonnaise. So lots and lots of carbs and fat together. And I went from 2 months of no weight loss to 6 pounds of weight loss. So that'll show you that there is not just one way to lose weight. There are definitely better ways than others, but sometimes you just have to switch things up to get your body to respond. So I know that it was good for me to do that. Now, I do not expect that I will be able to continue to eat this way and get all the way down to my goal. I don't think I'll gain weight eating this way. I think I'm eating a very healthy diet and my body really likes it. But I don't expect that I will lose all the weight that I want to lose eating this way. I do expect to add back in the THM principles of separating carbs and fat at some point in the future. Right now, I'm still kind of experimenting, and I'm still on an elimination diet, and I haven't done a lot of reintroductions. So I'm going to be doing my reintroductions as soon as, I feel like my body's in a good place to do that. And then from there, I will probably just kind of reevaluate and see where I'm at, and if I want to jump back into, really focus on THM and really focus on the separating the fuels. But as long as I'm losing weight eating carbs and fat together, I'm gonna like ride that wave as long as I possibly can, because it's pretty tasty. It's really good stuff. I mean, THM is not a bad diet, and there are a lot of great foods to eat, but when you can put butter on a potato, not butter, because I'm not doing butter, I'm doing ghee, clarified butter, but slather a potato in clarified butter, or roasted sweet potato fries with bacon grease, that's pretty good stuff. So if I could eat that and lose weight, I will do that all day, every day. But like I said, I don't expect that that's going to continue indefinitely. I will just continue to tweak my diet as I move along. But this Whole30 has been very eye-opening to me, showing me some food sensitivities, issues that I've been having that I just didn't want to acknowledge. Like I got back into eating lots of Greek yogurt, and I just know that dairy is not my friend if I eat a lot of it like that. So in closing, I think that the Whole30 is a great experiment for anyone to do, no matter what their regular diet is. It's just a journey of self-discovery where you learn about your body and what works for you and what doesn't, and then you can take that info and apply it to your everyday life and whatever diet you choose. So anyways, that is my thoughts on THM and Whole30. Please let me know what you guys think. If you've done a Whole30 on THM, I would love to hear about it. Or if you're thinking about doing it or whatever, I would love to chat with you down in the comments, and I will talk to you again soon. Bye, guys.